All right, Ray, for this first segment, we're going to talk a little bounce back wide receivers. So I'm going to let you go first. Give us your first data point for the week.
All right, Matt. I need a sip of coffee. I got to bring the energy up right here because there's a lot of people that are going to be like, I ain't buying this. So let me get a sip, Matt, because we're back. We're back. Marvin Harrison Jr. My goodness.
Oh, boy.
This week, Matt, he gets the Dallas Cowboys defense, okay? So weeks 1 through 6, Dallas's defense, straight up zone coverage. No man, they're just running zone. Not good. Defense said, we need to make a change. We got to change what's happening, right? Despite the fact there's no linebackers, Trayvon Diggs is on IR. They can't generate sacks. We're gonna start to run some more man. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna run some more man coverage. It ain't working, okay? Even with all of that, they changed from zone to man. Here's where the Dallas Cowboys rank right now, Matt Harmon. They are still, when I say legitimately, the worst defense in the NFL versus the pass. That is the Dallas Cowboys defense right now. You see right here what they were doing weeks 1 through 6, weeks 7 through 8. They've given up 767 yards and 66 points in the last 2 weeks. No zone. We're going to run man. We're going to try to blitz and force the issue on defense. It's not happening. So why do I bring up Marvin Harrison Jr.? Well, Matt, if he can't get it done versus the Dallas Cowboys defense, that is, and then these are my Cowboys. This is a team that I've grown up loving, but I'm an objective Cowboys fan. The defense is awful. I see Kyler Murray is back. I'm a little nervous. But my goodness, okay? Marv and McBride should be in line to smash this Dallas Cowboys defense. And this Dallas Cowboys offense put up a dud against Denver, so they should get it going. It's still one of the best offenses in the NFL. If they're putting the pressure on this Cardinals defense, if they're forcing the issue offensively with Dak and CD and Javonte Williams, do you, Matt Harmon, have any faith that Marvin Harrison Jr. right now in half PPR ain't giving us damn 10 points a game? Can he get it going right here? Can we give the people something to look forward to on Monday night?
Oh, God, nothing gives me more just dread than a Marvin Harrison Jr. Island game because there's, especially with how the last one went. You remember that?
Seattle I do.
Thursday night. I remember I tweeted
but people are thinking about this, Matt. Like, you're not benching them, are you?
No, I mean, I think in certain formats, yeah, maybe if you start 2 wide receivers, it's just one flex. I think maybe you have
right.
Yeah, drink up some more coffee there. You're drinking coffee at 5 p.m. Eastern. I mean, what are we doing? That's how you know it's football season, baby, by the way. But
it's anyways, a long night, it's Matt. Long night ahead.
I feel you, buddy. Well, it's like in the certain format, right? 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Maybe you have better options than Marvin Harrison. I totally get that. But yeah, for most people, he's probably still going to be on that starting range. Consensus rankings right now, he's kind of hovering where he usually does in that wide receiver 20-something range. I've got him at wide receiver 23 with respect to that matchup. So yeah, he's in the wide receiver 2 zone. I will say, Marvin Harrison, in terms of this year, has been more efficient and more effective, not like crazy amount, but he's been more efficient and more effective against zone coverage and man coverage.
Oh, gosh. 18%. Oh, man.
18% targets per route and 31st in yards per route against zone coverage. In man coverage, it drops down to 13.5% targets per route and 66th among wide receivers in yards per route against man coverage. But I still think the base of this Matt Eberflus defense is still generally zone coverage. So I would imagine early on in the game, they'll face a lot of zone. But Ray, when's the last time you saw the Arizona Cardinals come into a game and be like, you know what we're going to do? Especially with Kyler Murray in the center. We're going to pepper Marvin Harrison Jr. early. We're going to make it priority to get him the football. That just like never happens. And we're almost 2 years into the guy's career now at this point. I struggle to see that happening here.
Well, probably the last time we've seen it happen is when Rod Tidwell was catching passes against the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Maguire for that Cardinals team, because there is not a lot to feel optimistic outside of the fact that we've continued to say every week, right? We look at matchups. This defense is atrocious. This defense cannot stop anything right now. It's not designed to stop anything. I know that they don't have a strong running game right now with Bam Knight. I don't know if Trey Benson's eligible for IR. I don't think so. But if he can't get it done in this matchup, then what do you have? Like, what do you have if he can't exploit a team? They were rolling out defensive backs in that game versus Denver that I'd never heard of, ever. And this is Marv. It should be a Marv McBride, Kyler get right spot for the Arizona Cardinals. And I really want to tell the fine viewers and listeners of the show that you should have confidence in rolling him out there. What I wanted from you today was for you to stroke that ego and make me feel a little more confident, Matt Harmon, and you've done everything but that right now. He should be able to smash this Dallas Cowboys defense. He should.
Okay, what does a smash look like for Marvin Harrison? And by the way, like I am generally
100 yards. Got that? 100 yards. Give me
hasn't happened yet this year.
And a touchdown.
That's getting greedy. He hasn't even hit 100 yards yet this year. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 4, which was that damn Seahawks game, which was a roller coaster ride all in of itself. So, yeah, man, I feel you on this. I think that here's the thing. Last time Marv was in a true smash spot, it was week 5 against the Tennessee Titans, coming off that Thursday night game, which was the up and down moment. He had that touchdown where he was so relieved afterwards. He comes out the next week, 5 targets. He immediately catches a 40-plus yard bomb that gets tackled at the 1-yard line. He has that catch, and they only go back to him 4 more times the rest of the game. 5 targets on the game, 98 yards in that game. Like, that's a smash for Marvin Harrison Jr. to what we've seen so far this season. I am generally a Marv apologist. I want to be open-minded to him, like, taking another step at some point in his career, because I still think he gets a little bit too much heat for some of his play. I think there are environmental factors here, but like when I'm talking about a smash for Marvin Harrison, that's kind of the best we've seen so far.
I'm just hoping, Matt, that we've seen some of these teams come out of the bye and rechannel their energy, rechannel their focus, right? Fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed, because the matchup, we showed the tweet. I mean, 31st across the board, yards per game, rushing yards, totally. Passing yards, like the environment and the situation, you can't ask for a better spot from a team that doesn't get after the quarterback as well as they once did. Come on, Marvin Harrison Jr., get it done for us, man.
If you can't tell, I'm just a little bit jaded by this situation, and my scars are showing. Okay,
it's okay. I'm with you, but we have to. This is a spot versus Dallas's defense. If they cannot successfully move the ball through the air on this, like, we're gonna have different conversations about Kyler, about Marv. We'll have a different conversation come next week.
No doubt about that. All right, let's talk about another potential bounce-back wide receiver, a guy coming off a 1-week absence because he was in concussion protocol. Nico Collins, I imagine he is he's bouncing back, hopefully this week, but he'll certainly be back on the football field. Talk about a different side of the matchup here. We typically are scared of the Denver Broncos in terms of a secondary perspective for our wide receivers. However, Patrick Surtain is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks here for this Denver Broncos defense. I still imagine they will lean into a lot of man coverage, however, because that is the bones of what they do. The Broncos have used man coverage on 43% of their plays, according to Fantasy Points data. On the season, Nico Collins ranks 46th in yards per route versus man coverage. So not quite up to his previous standards, because Ray Garvin, this guy from 2023 to 2024, there was no wide receiver more dominant on a per route basis than Nico Collins in man coverage. Here are the top players in yards per route run for reverse man coverage from 2023 to 2024. Number 1, Nico Collins, 4.06. Number 2, CeeDee Lamb, 4.03. A.J. Brown, 3.76. George Pickens, 3.16. Puka Nacua, 3.15. Justin Jefferson, 3.12. These are all the guys above 3.1 in terms of yards per route run, which is like, that's the elite of the elite. Nico Collins, number 1, the best player against man coverage. So my question to you, Ray Garvin, we saw kind of a little rebound for the whole Texans offense last week, which certainly was because the 49ers defense is banged up. But did we see enough signs and signals in that game to think, all right, we drop the number one receiver back in here, and maybe this offense can find itself against a secondary matchup that should be favorable with no Patrick Surtain for Nico Collins?
Listen, we gotta call it what it is. We gotta keep it a buck. We gotta keep it 100. CJ Stroud, he was dialed in without Nico Collins last Sunday. I mean, he was dialed in. When I'm looking at the usage for the Houston Texans pass catchers, all of them were usable. If you started Noel, if you started Higgins, if you started Xavier Hutchinson, which that's the one that nobody started, right? Like you did not leave the week feeling burned. I mean, you got touchdowns from Higgins and Hutchinson. Jalen Noel in PPR formats was over 11 points on the week. And there were opportunities where you're like, man, maybe if that was Nico in there, Nico could have shook that. He could have busted that one a little bit, open up a little bit more. If I don't know if that's going to be the norm for how the Houston Texans play offense. I don't know if I'm willing to say that there's the real Houston Texans. I see who they are. This is what they're going to be. But if Stroud is going to throw the ball the way that he did last Sunday, and you're telling me that Nico Collins is going to be dropping, this is what we've been waiting for, right? It's never been a Nico Collins, like something's wrong with Nico. Something was wrong with the damn offense. Like it's something was wrong with the offense. And I do think that when you look at how the offense operates as a whole in totality, the fact that they did commit to the run, right, early. It wasn't like Nick Chubb was ripping off long runs. Woody Marks had some big plays, but they both established it. They ran the ball. They asserted some level of ground game that opened some stuff up in the passing attack. So, yeah, I do think we are due a big Nico Collins game. I think if Nico would have been given the same opportunity like an Xavier Hutchinson did, and he produced to that level, plus what Nico probably could bring to the table, we're feeling much, much better about him, this Texans offense moving forward. It was definitely a step in the right direction last Sunday.
Yeah, I liked how they got into jumbo sets, 6+ offensive linemen. Really, listen, if our 5 offensive linemen can't protect it and we don't really have tight ends that can block, let's throw another one out there. What's better than 5? 6. And they got some of that out there, which I think helped the run game. And then you get into the play action and you're able to take those shots downfield. That's like the vintage CJ Stroud stuff, right? From 2023 with Bobby Slowick, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, block it up really well, throw big outbreakers, throw big inbreakers. And that's something that I think we're seeing in this past game on the film. And now we drop Nico Collins into here. He obviously fits that sort of situation. And I also think just having other threats on the field, like Jalen Noel is good. Jaden Higgins and Xavier Hutchinson have their roles. But if especially Jalen Noel can stretch out the defense, that's going to help break up some of these brackets and double teams that we've seen on Nico Collins. And my last point is just, Jaden Higgins is a guy that I'm mixed on in terms of him being like a high volume perimeter player. But the fact that he ran out and basically played X for most of that game, like if we can get him to just kind of take that spot every now and again, maybe Nick Caley can then move Nico around a little bit, because I saw he was getting some criticism from the Texans, like local media, about the lack of motion for Nico Collins and how he was just kind of stationary. He goes, yeah. And he goes, no, that's not true. And it's just like he has 9 routes in motion all year long, which is not even close to some of the top receivers. So that's got to be a step forward that we need to see here. So there were some positive signs from Caley's offense this past week. I'm looking to see a little bit more, and I think the pieces are there for it to get done.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Now, first, did you see the routes that he ran from motion? They were awful. They were motion a man, and then there's a quick speed out to the outside. There's nothing creative. But if the offensive if he's got more confidence that Higgins can be deployed outside, that Jalen Noel can run some other route concepts, and that gives Nico Collins some freedom and flexibility to move around, do some other things, maybe this will be a net positive for Houston. Like, okay, there are some other guys that we can stick out here and do these things. Let's find ways to get our best offensive playmaker the ball in the most unique and creative ways possible. I'm optimistic for that, because Houston, they're not, I don't want to say they're in it, because the Indianapolis Colts look like they are going to run away with the AFC South. But man, the AFC in general, it's open, Houston's still fighting right now. They've got a tough defense. It's time. My theme of the show today is it's time to stop effing around. Let's get Nico Collins the ball in some advantageous ways, and I think we do see that here in Week 9 for Houston.
Yeah, I think we can crank those expectations back up for Nico Collins, maybe closer to wide receiver 1 territory. I think his disappointing season's just not been mostly his fault. He had that one drop in Seattle, but that's about it. And otherwise, like, please, let's see more of Jalen Noel. For God's sakes, like,
yes.
everybody can see it. Everybody, even the quarterback, Ray, in the last 3 weeks, Jalen Noel's only run a route on 47% of the dropbacks. He's been targeted on 28.9% of those routes, which is second only to Emeka Egbuka among rookie wide receivers. So even Stroud's like, oh, he's on the field? I better get him that ball.
Absolutely. More Noel. Absolutely.